What's going on, people? It's your boy Leon from Leon Talks TV. Welcome back to the channel. So, today we're delving into a topic that many of us can relate to, but might not always talk about: the challenge of juggling a needy friend and a girlfriend who both crave your attention. It can really be tough to find that balance, especially when your both relationships are important to you. Or maybe not. Imagine this: you're trying to enjoy quality time with your girlfriend, but your friend is always feeling left out and he feels always some type of way and feels neglected by you spending more time with your girlfriend. I mean, these type of situations can create a lot of stress and confusion about where to focus your time and energy. So in this video, we'll explore dynamics of these relationships, the emotional toll it can take, and how to navigate these situations without sacrificing your well-being. I'll share some things to help you figure out what's best for you when you're caught in the middle. So let's get started and find out how to manage these competing demands in a way that honors both your friendship and your romantic relationship. So in order for me to start, this is just basically based on my scenario. So let me share a story about a friend I had who was incredibly jealous, especially when it came to my relationships. You see, it was almost amusing in a way, but also a bit frustrating. You see, whenever I started a new relationship, he would always react with this underlining jealousy. For example, if I spent a few days with my girlfriend, let's say I did a whole weekend, and I didn't check in with him, it was always going to be some sort of drama with him. For example, let's say I eventually would call him after spending time with my then girlfriend at the time. He would always say things like, he would say something like, "Oh, so now you call me. I guess now that you're not with your girlfriend anymore, right? Oh, so now you want to talk." Or he would make comments like, "Just remember, your boys are always going to be there. Girls come and go." And to be honest, like, I used to always find this way too extreme, because it was just strange, because it was like, when do you expect me to spend time with your girlfriend? Like, that's what you're supposed to do when you have a girlfriend. You spend time with him, right? And it's like, at the end of the day, you're just trying to enjoy your time with your girlfriend. You see, it felt like he was trying to guilt me for not prioritizing our friendship, even though I thought it was completely normal to spend time with your partner, as it should, right? You see, what made it even more ironic was that later on, when he got into his own relationship, he would do the exact same thing. He would disappear for days wrapped up in his own romance. It was almost like he couldn't see the hypocrisy in his behavior. You see, this really highlights the irony of my friendship with someone who was incredibly needy. For me, I've always been the type of person who values independence in a relationship. I could easily spend a month without not needing to hear from my friend for whether it's a month, weeks on end. And honestly, it wouldn't bother me at all. People have separate lives outside of your own friendship, and I always feel like if you don't hear from someone for weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you can always if it's real friendship, you can always pick up where you left off. You don't have to be in constant communication all the time or be constantly connected or attached to people. And so what also struck me was how my friend reacted to this. Whenever I was wrapped up in my relationship, he would often express frustration or jealousy, as if I was neglecting our friendship. He seemed genuinely upset that I wasn't reaching out or prioritizing our time together. But I never understood why it was such a big deal for him when he would disappear for days or even weeks himself once he got into a relationship. But I couldn't care less. That was the difference. It was almost funny to me because while I didn't see the need to stay in constant contact, it was clear that it bothered him when our dynamic shifted. It made me realize that his neediness was rooted in his own insecurities and perhaps a fear of being left behind. He seemed to expect that I should always be available regardless of what was happening in my life, while he felt justified in withdrawing when he was focused on his own relationships. You see, this contrast really opened my eyes to the importance of understanding different attachment styles in friendships. While I valued my independence and didn't see a problem with spending time away from friends, he struggled to handle that same freedom. It's a reminder that everyone has a different need and expectation when it comes to relationships, and not everyone will understand or appreciate your perspective. So let's talk about the importance of being cautious with certain friends, especially those who are very needy. We all have friends who crave attention, but when that neediness starts to affect on your other relationships, especially romantic ones, it can create a lot of tension and confusion. Think about it. if you have a friend who constantly needs your attention and support, it can be challenging to balance that with a girlfriend who also craves your attention and affection. In these situations, you might find yourself feeling pulled into two different directions. On one hand, you want to be there for your friend, but on the other hand, you also need to nurture your relationship. I mean, we all have lives outside of our own friendship, right? So sometimes needy friends can unintentionally manipulate your feelings. They might use guilt or emotional appeals to make you feel like you're abandoning them if you spend time with someone else. This can lead to a sense of obligation that can be really draining. It's essential to recognize when that's happening and to prioritize your own well being. You see, you have to do what's best for you. This means spending time with the people who uplift you and support your happiness rather than those who make you feel guilty for wanting to have a life outside of the friendship. Also, one thing to be mindful of is that if you have a friend who is needy and guilt trips you anytime you spend time with a so called partner, or let's say a romantic partner to be exact, remember not to feel any type of way about it. And the number one reason why, because one thing I've learned the hard way, is that if you allow yourself to get guilt tripped for being with a romantic partner, these types of friends will handicap you in a way that you will lose out on a lot of potential partners just to appease your friend. And the funny thing is that the irony of all of this, and the big guess what? That same friend will end up finding his partner and doing the exact same thing he complains about. And funny thing is, he'll end up living his best life with his partner while you miss out because of blind loyalty and not putting yourself first. So it's important to not be guilt tripped and block out the noise and do what's best for you. Also, if you notice that your needy friends is creating an unnecessary drama or tension, it's okay to set boundaries. You don't want to be in a position where you're constantly trying to appease someone who isn't respecting your time or your other relationships. It's all about finding that balance. Healthy relationships should enhance your life, not complicate it. So if you find yourself feeling manipulated or gaslighted into making decisions that doesn't serve you, it's a sign to re-evaluate those relationships. Remember, everyone deserves to spend time with people who respects your choice and support your happiness. Don't let anyone, and I mean don't let anyone, whether it's a needy friend or anyone else, dictate how you spend your time. Trust your instincts, prioritize your well-being, and surround yourself with those who genuinely care about you and your happiness. You see, in the end, it's your life, and you only got one shot at this. And you should be living it on your terms. Remember, I emphasize on your terms. So take a step back, assess your friendship, and make sure you are investing your time in relationships that uplift you rather than drag you down. You see, this experience really made me think about how jealousy can affect friendship. It's natural to feel a little envious at times, especially when you see someone else happy in a relationship. But allowing that jealousy to manifest into negative comments or guilt tripping can really strain friendships. You see, one thing I've learned from this situation is the importance of communication and understanding in friendships. It's crucial to support each other, regardless of whether one person is in a relationship or not. Healthy friendships should be about celebrating each other's happiness, not competing for attention or trying to make someone feel guilty for spending time with a partner. In the end, it's all about finding balance. Both friendships and romantic relationships can coexist and thrive, but it requires mutual respect and understanding. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to do the hard thing in life and have to distance yourself from people that spoil your happiness or that just tries to not bring peace to your life, that just wants to constantly always bring drama, for unnecessary drama, just because you spent time with someone else or but anyways, on that note, I'll leave it there. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. On that note, salute.